Like whatever, it's a message to all the people out there that whatever their dream is, that they should never.
Imagine hearing a voice so mature, so charged with emotion, that you're convinced it's sung by someone far beyond their years. That's how the story of Angelina Jordan begins, not just as a young singer, but as a dramatic performer who, in her rendition of I Put a Spell on You, seemed to channel decades of jazz and blues heritage. From a Norwegian stage to global online audiences, her performance captured attention in ways few covers ever do. In this report, we'll trace how that performance came together, why it stands out, and what it reveals about artistry, ambition, and a promise made long ago. Hook, at first note, the room went quiet, and then something unexpected unfolded. Angelina's version of I Put a Spell on You introduces us to a young singer who doesn't just perform a song, she inhabits its mood. The original track, written in 1956 by Screamin' Jay Hawkins, is a blues rock classic built on raw emotion and stage theatrics. Angelina's interpretation may not bring the full shock rock gimmick of the original, but she delivers the vocal weight, the phrasing, the tension, and she does so with a sincerity that surprises. Viewers first hear her clear, almost ethereal tone, and then realize she's diving into something darker, more theatrical. Watching that performance, you sense something deeper than a cover. You sense an invocation. This wasn't just a young singer performing a famous song, it was a declaration. And yet, the story doesn't end with the performance itself. It begins there. Stay tuned, because what lies beneath the surface turns the version into something far more complex. Hook, what kind of upbringing produces a voice so achingly rich at such a young age? Angelina Jordan's story leads us back to Oslo, Norway, where she first made headlines on a talent show at the age of 7. But even that doesn't capture the whole picture. Her influences stretch deeper into jazz, blues, and vintage pop. Billie Holiday, Dinah Washington, the smoky clubs of a bygone era, these echoes inform her vocal style and choices. One particularly distinctive element, she performs barefoot. At age 6, she reportedly met a motherless child who had no shoes, and since then she vowed to go shoeless until all children had shoes. That gesture may seem symbolic, but within the performance context, it becomes part of the theater, a subtle statement of vulnerability and authenticity. So when she takes the stage barefoot, wearing a vintage-style dress, the audience isn't just hearing a singer, they're witnessing a persona built on roots, history, and deliberate choices. And that leads into how she transformed a well-known song into something uniquely her own. What if the magic isn't just what you hear, but what you don't expect to hear? In Angelina's rendition, the vocal delivery defies expectation. She uses phrasing that walks between innocence and grit, bending notes, pausing just long enough to let the emotion breathe. The original Hawkins version had flourishing theatrics, moans and screams, even stage props. Angelina strips much of that away, retains only the core emotional weight, and lets the voice carry the tension. Instrumentation is pared back in some versions, giving space to her voice rather than burying it in bombast. Visually, she stands still, barefoot, minimal gesture, and that stillness becomes part of the performance's power. Every element, the tone, the silence, the glance, contributes to an atmosphere that pulls the viewer in. But the transformation doesn't just stop at performance style, it bridges into theatrical territory. Is it still a song, or has it become a scene? Theatricality can mean many things: dramatic staging, heightened emotion, audience immersion. But here it's about how Angelina reimagines I Put a Spell on You into a miniature spectacle. The original by Hawkins was border-pushing, cowled in theatrics, rising from a coffin on stage, a skull prop named Henry, Fire and Fog. In contrast, Angelina's version is understated yet intense. The contrast between her youthful appearance and the seasoned soul in her voice creates a tension in itself. It's as if all the theatrics were turned inward. The song becomes less about external spectacle and more about internal drama. That inward turn makes the performance feel more personal and invites the listener to lean in. And as we peel back this layer, there's an unexpected twist, a turning point in her career that few may have anticipated. When the quiet performer suddenly makes headlines, what's really happening behind the scenes? While Angelina's performance captured attention, her journey hasn't been without unexpected developments. For example, she withdrew from a major Norwegian competition, raising questions about contracts, creative control, and professional direction. Though she began her career as a viral sensation, the path forward appears less straightforward. What might that withdrawal signify? A shift in priorities, a demand for artistic freedom, or a reaction to industry pressures? It's a reminder that behind every seemingly flawless performance is a young artist navigating complex terrain, and that terrain affects how we interpret her work, including that iconic cover. But perhaps the most powerful takeaway lies in the deeper message her performance carries. A barefoot stage, a child's promise, a voice that seems borrowed from another time. What does it all mean? Angelina's barefoot pledge, to perform without shoes until all children had them, isn't a gimmick. It's a form of symbolism embedded into her artistry, vulnerability, authenticity, a refusal to hide behind glamour. That choice aligns with her performance of I Put a Spell on You, a song about possession, power, change, and emotion. When a young singer channels that song, barefoot and still, she invites us to reconsider the power dynamics in the track. Who holds the spell? Who is under it? And more broadly, she invites us to consider the role of youth in revisiting and reinterpreting classic works. Her performance becomes not just a rendition, but a statement about legacy, identity, and transformation. In summary, Angelina Jordan's cover of Put a Spell on You stands out because it merges deep roots, deliberate performance choices, and underlying symbolism into a unified whole. It's more than a remake. It's a theatrical recasting of a familiar song through the lens of youth, authenticity, and quiet intensity. The next time you listen to a cover, ask yourself, is it simply a new version of a song, or is someone casting a spell? If you felt something during her performance, drop a comment on what struck you most. And remember, the story behind the voice can be just as compelling as the voice itself.